Hi guys, everyone! My name is Tina, and in today's video I would like to share with you how you can prepare for the Toefl exam in just 2 months. Not in years, not flying to English-speaking countries and spending months there, paying thousands of dollars or hiring very expensive tutors. Really, it is possible to score high and on the Toefl exam and study and prepare in a short time frame. Personally, it took me 2 months to prepare for the Toefl exam and score from 81 and improve my score from 81 to 102 points, because that was the requirement in my school to score at least 100 points. Every day I was preparing, studying between 5 to 6 hours. Probably for the first week or 10 days I was studying for like 3 hours, because it was very difficult really in the beginning to just be focused on reading for 1 hour non-stop. I couldn't do that, I have to be honest with you. But with time it became for me more natural and comfortable to read non-stop without distractions and just getting more very focused on all the Toefl sections. The number one thing, if you want to prepare in a short time frame, you not just have to be focused, you need time, and you need to spend as much time as you can, but quality time. If you're just tired or not paying attention, it's going to be absolutely waste of your time, and it's not going to be productive, and you're not going to learn anything and improve your score. Number one thing, guys, you'd have to spend 4 to 6 hours every day. You may be taking it slower on the weekends or taking one day off, but not less than 5 hours a day. Now I'm going to start with the first part of this video. What were my weakest points and how I determined them? Well, I have to tell you that some of the weakest points I understood over time, when I saw making same mistakes in my writing, or when I was listening to my voice and I could hear same mistakes that I was doing. Or in some of them, the tutor told me, and some of them I figured it just after taking the very first exam. My number one problem was vocabulary. I mean, by vocabulary I mean academic language and understanding of words related to those Toefl topics that you're going to be reading about. Topics about biology, astronomy, CO2 emissions, molecular physics, and architecture. That was my number one thing that I realized that I just couldn't understand the vocabulary, and that was significantly reducing my score on reading part. My number two problem was that I was taking too much time to write essays, to write introductions, also taking too much time answer questions. By that I mean that my thoughts, when I would start answer questions, my thoughts would be all over the place, unorganized. Same with writing. I would spend too much, like 10 minutes just on writing the first paragraph of their essay, or I would give a too long introduction when I would be answering question, or I would be rushing and making a lot of mistakes. That was my number two problem. Number three, I was thinking too much, specifically in writing section and speaking section. For example, I would sit and write down the essay that I will try to agree with the question and find 3 key points that support my idea. And then I would start writing, and some 7 minutes later I would decide, actually I don't have so many supporting arguments, so I actually disagree with the topic. And then I basically spend the whole 7 minutes, and now I try to come up with new 3 points, not disagreeing, but now agreeing with the statement or with the question. I was thinking too much. That's the problem. Remember that on their Toefl, it doesn't matter what you're thinking, really. They don't really care about your opinion. What cares most, or what's more important, is that you can show well-structured text, well-structured answer, good vocabulary, and as less grammatical mistakes as possible. So you can even, doesn't matter, nobody's going to judge you if you're going to tell that I don't want to have children or anything else, whatever. It's not about really your opinion, it's about checking your grammar. Number 4, my biggest part was trying to memorize long and very sophisticated templates for writing and speaking. For some time I thought that, okay, if I can come up with and just remember some very cool and like very unique set of words and introduction and conclusion sentences, then probably I would get a higher score. But unfortunately, every time when I would put away their template for a speaking part or for writing, I would make mistakes in that template, or it would just take me too much time trying to remember that template. It didn't work out for me at all. So my suggestion, guys, find or write yourself template that's going to be easy for you to remember, and make sure that it's grammatically correct. Number 5 mistake, my mistake was that I was making grammar mistakes, such as I was mixing articles a and their. Mistakes, I mean, in writing and actually in speaking too. And I think I do still some of those mistakes by this day, but at least when I'm writing, I know I can see and make less mistakes, but still by this day I'm sure I'm repeating some of them. I identified that I was doing grammatical mistakes, like mixing articles a and their. Then I would mix words then and then. I would write incorrectly there and there. They spell the same but have different meaning and different spelling. It's and it is. I would write too many commas and use too much I. So these were the most typical grammar mistakes that I identified. After getting back my TOEFL writing assignments corrected, I saw over and over those mistakes, and the more I would write, the more I would focus and make sure that I pay special attention to if I'm writing is it the right article to use here? Am I spelling it correctly? And with every new writing, those particular spelling or grammatical mistakes would go down. But I would find some new. But those were the most I had to fix, and I had to pay special attention when I was talking, when I was writing. And my last mistake was that sometimes I would write too long sentences or try to answer in too long sentences, and because of that, I would make grammatical mistakes, or just the whole sentence would just lose the sense of what I was trying to do to say. So I had to train myself and write more sentences using less words. There was a part 1 in 6 mistakes I had to eliminate and had to work on most of the time while I was preparing for the TOEFL exam.